What's going on, everyone? Unofficial Star Wars here. Hope you're all doing well. And in today's video, we have an interesting theory or prediction for the future of the Bad Batch and what we could possibly see by the end of the season. Let's get right into it. Of course, there are spoilers to the Bad Batch, so click off now if you haven't seen it. And oh yeah, also real quick, a quick happy birthday to Revenge of the Sith and The Phantom Menace. I missed their birthdays yesterday. Those are amazing movies and I absolutely love them. Okay, now into the actual video. Of course, there's been many theories and predictions for what we could possibly see by the end of season 1 of the Bad Batch. Now, season 2 isn't completely confirmed or greenlit either, so this could be a one season and done type of show. Of course, many of us, including myself, hope that is not the case. I definitely hope that's not the case. I hope we get many seasons of the Bad Batch show, much like we got with Star Wars The Clone Wars. Of course, I have seen other content creators actually make this prediction or this theory of what we could see by the end of the season 1 of the Bad Batch, and that would be a clone uprising or a clone trooper rebellion. Of course, this would be a pretty low-key type of rebellion or uprising, I think, and it would probably just mostly take place on Kamino, just as one planet, because looking back at other Star Wars books and comics, we actually do get a look at some stormtroopers or purge troopers when they take off their helmets and are actually revealed to all be the same identical Jango Fett clone troopers. So much like we've already kind of seen with the Bad Batch and other clone troopers like Captain Rex or Wolf or Gregor, like we all see in Star Wars Rebels, those ones are the ones that kind of disobeyed the order of Order 66, or at least fought it and eventually became good and came back to the good side, I guess, quote unquote. Not really, you know, good or dark side with them. It's just that they came back to the good guys of the Republic, or rather the rebellion at that time especially. So the first idea or way or theory or prediction that this could actually happen is the Bad Batch sneaks their way back onto Kamino in order to sneak into the clone headquarters and kind of just like reverse Order 66 on all of them by kind of pretty much, I guess, giving them emergency surgery, or maybe there's some other type of emergency order like Order 66, like Order 99, kind of taking a reference back to Clone Force 99 is what the Bad Batch is called. Kind of like an order, so it would be like an execute Order 66 where they all come back to the good side and regain consciousness and are, what am I doing? What happened? And it's almost like they're in a coma, like their body was taken over. It would pretty much be like that. They, of course, then would kind of go crazy and have an uprising or rebellion taking place on Kamino and kind of going against the Kaminoans. Then the other idea or prediction or way that this could actually play out or actually happen is that the inhibitor chip just kind of basically wears off over time. We already know, like I saw in books and comics, is that the clone trooper Jango Fetts actually do get turned into stormtroopers in most cases, and in some cases that does actually happen, and I guess they kind of wear off the inhibitor chip after a while because they don't seem to be as harsh as stormtroopers. And it is something that we should know is that in this previous episode with Crosshair training those regular recruit humans, is that we do see the clones kind of being mixed around into the stormtroopers and normal recruits, and I think that is something that will eventually take off, is to have that these clone troopers, enhanced clone troopers especially, train normal recruits. And another thing to also note with these clone troopers is that they do have accelerated aging, and that's something that was really heavily used in the Clone Wars. So we take Captain Rex, for instance, who's really in the body of a 32-year-old, but in reality is no more than like 5 years old, which is caused by the accelerated aging. And that's another reference to Star Wars Rebels, that those clone troopers, Gregor, Wolf, and Rex that we do see aren't really supposed to be that old looking. They're rather just like now just turning 30 then. But they do look like they could be 50 or 60 or even older. It's one of the best theories I've actually seen out there. I mean, all the theories that we have been talking about and predictions that we've been taking a look at for the Bad Batch and what we could possibly see have been all really good theories and predictions, and honestly have been really one of the most best set of theories and predictions that we've had in a long time, I guess. I do think, however, a really big roadblock that we do see, however, with this theory or this prediction is that it's never mentioned really in the original trilogy or the sequel trilogy or even later on in Clone Wars Rebels or anything like that. Sorry, I just meant to say Rebels, not Clone Wars. But yeah, you guys get the gist. It's not really mentioned later on in other canon materials or comics or books or anything like that of a clone trooper rebellion actually happening. The clone trooper rebellion or uprising that we do know of is Order 66. That's kind of the rebellion or the uprising of the clone troopers, I guess. So regarding back to that first theory or idea of how this actually could play out is with the Bad Batch. It honestly just makes more sense, in my personal opinion, for the Bad Batch in order to sneak back onto Kamino and in order to kind of, I guess, give emergency surgery or an emergency order to these clones surrounding on Kamino. And while we also don't have a full understanding on how the inhibitor chip works, this is kind of an iffy idea. If we were to actually see this, it would actually explain quite a bit about the inhibitor chip and how it actually works, and there's been many theories and predictions and, I guess, ideas on how it actually does work, whether it's just a planned order, or if the inhibitor chip literally takes over your brain, or if it's a mixture of both, or what it actually is, or if you have to hear actual physical execute Order 66 words in order for this inhibitor chip to work. It's just a really confusing idea that not many actually know. It honestly is a growing question and is something I really personally want to hear about in the Bad Batch show, and I think it is something that they will kind of talk more a bit about, especially then seeing that Captain Rex is later on to appear in this Bad Batch show, seeing that he was in the trailer, and it will probably explain how he was able to save Gregor and Wolf, or if he's on his way to, and how he got saved from Ahsoka. He'll probably explain later on to the Bad Batch, which could lead to this clone uprising. Let us know down in the comment section down below if you think that this theory could possibly actually happen later on in the Bad Batch show. Drop a like on this video if you did enjoy it, as it really does help with the channel, and check out our Instagram, Unofficial Star Wars, for more news, memes, facts, and all types of other Star Wars content. Until next time, the Force will be with you, always. Peace out.